A very good morning to you and welcome to another Monday, the start of a brand new working week. We're glad to have you join us on the morning news, reaching you live on the network service of the NTA. I am Claire Adilabu Abdurazak.
And I'm Nolin Evel Ame. Thank you, Claire. Good morning to you. It's a pleasure to have you with us on the news at 10, which begins now with the headlines.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo condemns police brutality as IGP bans federal SARS and other police tactical units.
The President and I have had discussions on this. He's very, very concerned about it. Wants to see a reform of this process. And I'm sure that you are probably aware that the police have issued a statement.
Police warns against political violence in the ongoing Ondo election campaigns.
And NCDC confirms 58 new cases of COVID-19 in 8 states and the FCT.
And International Teachers Day today focuses on teachers leading in crisis and re-emerging in the future.
Thank you for joining us. Let's begin with security concerns. And Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has expressed concerns over indiscriminate brutalization of young Nigerians by men of the Nigerian Police Force, especially the Special Anti-Robbery Squad and those in other tactical units.
During a chat with newsmen at the presidential villa in Abuja, the vice president described the actions as totally objectionable and unacceptable, assuring Nigerians that a reform in the police force to curb these excesses is in offering. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
And I have had discussions on this. He's very, very concerned about it. Wants to see a reform of this process. And I'm sure that you are probably aware that the police have issued a statement, the IG has issued a statement looking at all these various issues. In particular, warning against the use of these tactical forces, such as SARS, for purposes of doing anything other than anti-robbery as it's supposed to be. I mean, for example, and I think in the statement it specifically said that you cannot have a situation where SARS say they're investigating cybercrime and arresting people, young men and women who are carrying laptops and carrying on their phones. Cybercrime is an electronic crime. There's no way that you can investigate that by seizing people's phones in a taxi or in their cars.
And the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has banned the personnel of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad and other tactical squads of the force, including the Special Tactical Squad Intelligence Unit. All right, we interrupt the news at 10 to join our outside broadcast for a joint executive legislative leadership retreat holding at the State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa in Abuja.
This is the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, transmitting to you live from the conference center of the Presidential Villa here in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. I am Lami Ali, welcoming you to the Joint Executive Legislative Leadership Retreat. This event is organized to build partnership and cooperation between the legislature and executive arms of government. It is also meant to consolidate on existing relationship for improved service delivery in service to the nation. The President, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari, the General, has just taken his entry, and we're going to have the welcome remarks by the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Umar El-Yakub.
I am Cyril Stover. Mine is to acquaint you with the order of proceedings here at this retreat. Now that we have settled down and with the arrival of Mr. President, may I now invite the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives, Umar El-Yakub, to now step forward and formally welcome you to this retreat. Thank you. Thank you very much. Your Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, Your Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Senator Ahmed Lawal, President of the Senate, Your Excellency Right Honorable Femi Gbajabimiala, Speaker, House of Representatives, Your Excellency Senator Ovio Omo Agege, Deputy President of the Senate, Your Excellency Ahmed Idris Wase, Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Your Excellency State Governors here present, leadership of the Senate and the House of Representatives, distinguished senators, honorable members, Your Excellency Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Your Excellency Professor Ibrahim Gambari, Chief of Staff to the President, Dr. Fola Shadeyemi Asan, Head of Service of the Federation, honorable ministers, General Muhammad Babagana Mungunu, retired National Security Advisor to the President, Muhammad Adamu, Inspector General of Police, senior government officials and heads of agencies here present, distinguished resource persons, panelists, participants, and members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of myself and my colleague in the Senate, Senator Babajide Omo-Orari, I humbly welcome you all to this auspicious event. This platform is conceived to provide us a unique opportunity as leaders, colleagues, and stakeholders to dialogue on contemporary governance issues and collectively find solutions towards addressing identified bottlenecks. Strengthening effective executive-legislative partnership is undoubtedly a top priority on the agenda of this administration. One of the ways of achieving this is to equip critical players in both branches with the information and tools necessary to develop a strong and cordial partnership, one that is underpinned by overriding commitment to national interest. Cooperation between the various arms of government is a defining feature of our quest for national development. As partners in nation building, the importance of the executive and the legislature working harmoniously and collaboratively cannot be overemphasized. Since the beginning of this administration, Mr. President and the leadership of the Ninth Assembly have taken proactive steps to foster and deepen cooperation between both arms of government. While so much has been achieved with tangible outcomes, there is need to consolidate on the gains so far made. Therefore, this retreat is geared towards enhancing the synergy between the executive and the legislative arms of government, deepening understanding, building consensus on the priority development agenda of both the executive and the legislature, as well as improving communication and information sharing. It is our expectation that the improved working relationship will lead to enhanced service delivery, accountability, transparency, efficiency, and effectiveness in the management of public resources in line with Mr. President's development priorities. My colleague and I would like to thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives for this joint initiative. We will continue to explore opportunities for more of such interactions at different levels on critical governance issues. As we reflect on national issues at this retreat, I strongly believe that in promoting and defending our shared values, national interest will be our common goal. We have to build on our complementary strength, and we have to learn from each other's experiences. It is our sincere hope that the discussions and recommendations resulting from this event will positively contribute to the achievement of this administration's goals. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me close by applauding President Muhammadu Buhari for his vision, leadership, and unwavering commitment to fostering sustainable partnership with all arms and tiers of government across the country. Thank you very much, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Umar El Yaqub, Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives. Just a quick reminder here, ladies and gentlemen, to activate the silent mode of your phones. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we would take a couple of messages. And first, let me invite His Excellency, the Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker of the House of Representatives, to deliver his message. Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, Your Excellency, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, the Deputy Speaker, the entire leadership of the National Assembly and members of the National Assembly, members, our partners in the executive, members of the executive arm of government. Ladies and gentlemen, mine is just a very brief 2-minute goodwill message. I think I will be presenting a paper later on today. I want to thank the organizers, particularly Umar El Yaqub and his counterpart in the Senate, for putting together this long overdue engagement between perhaps the most two critical arms of government that need to work together in a symbiotic way to achieve and deliver, quote unquote, the dividends of democracy to the people we represent. I thank you immensely for this giant effort. And I thank the President for, in his unbelievably busy schedule, to find time this early Monday morning to be here in attendance. I commend Mr. President, the Vice President as well. We were here just a few weeks ago and went through the same process, an all-day sitting. And I think it's a testament to your commitment to nation building. It is my hope and my belief that in the next 48 hours, 2 days that is, that we will engage in very robust, very frank discussions about the relationship between these two critical arms of government and how that relationship can inure to the benefit of Nigerians. I believe this 2-day engagement will do nothing but enhance this relationship, strengthen it, and the people that will be the better for it, and not us, but the Nigerian people that we represent. So I look forward to the engagement. I believe it will be frank, it will be truthful. We'll speak truth to each other, and I believe the outcome will be, like I said, at the risk of sounding repetitive, will be to the benefit of all Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker Gbajabiamila Mila. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me at this point invite His Excellency, the President of the Senate, Dr. Ahmad Lawan, to deliver his message.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, DCFR, the Vice President, my brother, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Deputy President of the Senate, the Deputy Speaker, Principal Officers of the National Assembly, very distinguished and honored members of the National Assembly, the SGF, and other members of the Federal Executive Council, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Mr. President, like the Right Honorable Speaker mentioned, this will be the second time in a short time that we'll be discussing the relationship between the legislature and the executive here. The other time was the ministerial retreat, and we had the opportunity to make our contribution on this topic. Today, the whole 2 days, 48 hours, are devoted to discussing the relationship between the executive and the legislature. This is a sign that this administration, particularly the relationship between the executive and the legislature, is of utmost concern to us in government. And that is what it should be. Mr. President, this National Assembly decided quite early to work together with the executive very harmoniously for the benefit of Nigerians. And I'm glad that, Mr. President, you have expressed very similar commitment. In fact, this relationship is misunderstood by many. Some, out of mischief, will describe the National Assembly as a rubber stamp. Some out of misunderstanding. What is upmost in our minds as members of the National Assembly, in the 9th Assembly, is how do we work with the executive to make Nigeria better? If the price to pay is the names that we get, then let it be the price to pay. Because we believe that Nigerians deserve better service, better infrastructural development in the country, and it is difficult, if not impossible, to achieve meaningful development in this country, or indeed in any democracy, without understanding and harmony in the way and manner the two arms of government work. So far, we have journeyed for over 12 months. So it is time to review this partnership, to review this journey and see what are the weaknesses in the relationship, in the partnership, in the collaboration. What are those areas that we have achieved so much? And we can say that this relationship has worked to so much that we have done some appreciable level of success in terms of service delivery. But there are a lot of rooms for improvement. There are a lot of rooms for improvement because we believe that we have not yet achieved that crucial level of the relationship that we can say, now it is Uhuru. So this particular retreat, which is jointly organized by the legislature and the executive, will provide us with opportunities to review and strengthen areas that we have achieved so much and address areas of weaknesses in this relationship. And definitely there are some few key areas that we need to strengthen. Finally, because this is a goodwill message, I wish to wish us very goodwill that we are able to use the next 48 hours to talk to ourselves in a very frank and deliberate manner. Because what we do here will impact very significantly on the polity, on governance, and Nigerians deserve to have what we promised them as a government. Thank you very much. God bless.
Thank you very much, President of the Senate, Dr. Ahmad Lawan. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as he rises to present his speech, let us all appreciate His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari.
Yeah, please sit down. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Vice President, the President of the Senate, Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, governors present here, members of the National Assembly, members of the Federal Executive Council, former President of the Senate, Senator Ken Namani, senior government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to this retreat organized for leadership of the executive and legislative arms of our government. This retreat provides us another opportunity to interface, reflect, brainstorm, and engage as one government. I use the word one government because there can only be one government in a nation at a time, and officials, both elected and appointed in the executive or legislative arm, must all be working for the peace, unity, and development of our country. This retreat named, I quote, promoting effective executive-legislative partnership, finding a middle ground, unquote, is apt as it reflects the peculiarity of a prudential system of government like ours. The experiences of the last 20 years of steady democratic practice in Nigeria has underlined the need for effective partnership and collaboration between the executive and the legislative arms of government to deliver our mandate. I believe that the principle of separation of powers as enshrined in our Constitution is designed to enable all arms of government to work together in cooperative and collaborative manner through executive and legislative engagements. Let me thank the leadership and members of the 9th National Assembly for the cordial and warm relationship we have enjoyed in the last 1 year. By virtue of our effective partnership and your support, this government has initiated critical reforms targeted at reforming and strengthening our economy, increasing efficiency in governance, consolidating on the repairs carried out in the last 4 years, and putting the country on a steady path of growth and development. The accelerated passage of the 2020 budget and its review in response to the coronavirus pandemic, the timely confirmation of my nominees, and passage of critical legislations by the National Assembly are all testaments to your willingness and commitment to play in your part towards delivering effective services to Nigerians. There is a compelling need to sustain and strengthen on this partnership by creating platforms for regular dialogue, consultations, and interactions between the executive and the legislature to share ideas and build consensus on critical governance and policy issues. This approach will enhance coordination within government and strengthen our capacity to effectively address the challenges of governance, service delivery, and development. Recently, I inaugurated the National Steering Committee, co-chaired by the Honorable Minister for Finance, Budget and National Planning, and Mr. Peter Said Atedo, with representation from the National Assembly to oversee the development of the Nigerian Agenda 2050 and medium-term National Development Plan to succeed Vision 2020 and the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan 2017 to 2020. This is to facilitate the linkage between policy plans and budget in a manner that will help lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within the next 10 years. Similarly, I unveiled a 9-point priority development agenda of this administration aimed at improving the livelihood of Nigerians within the next 3 years. These include A, building a thriving and sustainable economy. B, enhancing social inclusion and reducing poverty. C, enlarging agricultural output for food security and export. D, attaining energy sufficiency in power and petroleum products. And E, expand transport and other infrastructural development. Others are F, expanding business growth, entrepreneurship, and industrialization. G, expanding access to quality education. affordable health care, and productivity of Nigerians. H, building a system to fight corruption on a permanent basis, improving governance and creating social cohesion and improving security for all. While all members of the Federal Executive Council have been given clear mandates and yearly targets towards achieving the set indicators and goals, I recognize the critical role of the National Assembly in helping to deliver this agenda and the strategic goals set by this government. We cannot do this alone without your support and collaboration. I am equally aware that both the Senate and the House of Representatives have adopted the new legislative agenda for the current Assembly. I must thank the Senate President and Right Honorable Speaker for the updated version of the legislative agenda of the 9th National Assembly. The urgent need for aligning the 9-point priority agenda and the legislative agenda of both the Senate and the House of Representatives cannot be overemphasized. I will therefore suggest that a technical committee be established after this retreat to harmonize these critical and strategic documents to help improve synergy and coordination. To drive effective implementation of the resolutions or agreements reached at this retreat and achieve its main objectives, I will also recommend the establishment of a technical working group to synthesize the outcome and make appropriate recommendations to myself and the leadership of the National Assembly for action. Let me also remind our fellow patriots, countrymen and women, that the process of lawmaking and governance are dynamic and ever-evolving. I will seek their indulgence to be patient with any legislation or law which they have certain misgivings about and engage the process for reviewing such laws in line with democratic practices. Our interest is the sincere promotion of our collective will and aspirations to build a nation where justice, peace, and progress are the norm. I thank the organizers of this retreat and everyone present here today. I look forward to a robust and successful set of deliberations. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari with the opening remarks there.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Declaring open the joint executive legislative retreat. In his address, the President acknowledges the warm relationship, partnership and support that has existed between this government and the legislature in its reform and infrastructure development agenda to enhance growth. He talked about the passage of the budget. He talked about the passage of bills that are necessary for development, as well as the quick confirmation of nominees by the National Assembly.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Thank you. May I, at this point now, introduce the discussants. First, let me call on Senate Majority Leader, Senator Yahya Abdullahi, take his seat as one of the discussants, Senate Majority Leader, Senator Yahya Abdullahi. Let me also invite the Honorable Ado Dogwa, House Majority Leader, who is also a discussant. Ladies and gentlemen, let me invite the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN. Let's keep appreciating them as they take their positions. May I now call on the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, Senate, Senator Babajide Omawurare. And they've been joined by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives, Umar El Yaqub. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, these are the discussants. These are the discussants, and of course, as we did announce, the chairman moderator would be the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. I am to bring to the attention of members of the Fourth Estate of the realm, the press, that at this point, they should kindly excuse the panelists and discussants at this point in time. So this is calling on members of the Fourth Estate of the realm, the media, to at this point
Network service of the Nigerian
step
Television
aside,
Authority.
albeit for a while.
We've come to the end of the opening of the Joint Executive Legislature retreat.
Thank you very much.
After the speech of the President, we're going into the technical session. The discussants are seated, and it is at this point that we draw the curtains on the live telecast of the retreat. We thank you for your time. On behalf of all those that made it possible, I'm Lami Ali, inviting you to stay tuned as we resume other programs.
Our President of the Senate, who will deliver this communication and collaboration between the executive and legislative branches of government, challenges, opportunities, and recommendations.
In handing over the documents to the Federal Prime Minister, Alhaji Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Her Royal Highness handed over sovereignty to a new nation. This was the dramatic takeover by the new nation's own green and white flag.
drive in the rain?
It depends on the velocity of the rain.